What up, fight fans? Happy holidays. Thanks so much for joining us again here as we close out 2025. We close out the ESPN era. We close out a lot of different milestones here with UFC. And what a better place to do it than the Apex, right? UFC Vegas 112. Brandon Royval, Manel Kape, a really entertaining and captivating fight in the main event, at least. So we'll have that going for us. Of course, UFC 323 last week was bananas. We left there with seemingly 10, 12 different storylines. So I'm going to bring in my guy, the man, the myth, the long shot legend, Matt Tanner. Ask him how he's doing tonight and ask him how UFC 323 went for you, buddy.
Oh, dude, don't even ask me that. It was an absolute disaster, bro. The Pantoja fight put me on such tilt. Granted, it was the second last fight of the night, but I was already on tilt before that.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I had that slip to win $20K, which would have, got me to even or, close to it because I was having that bad of a night. And I just needed Pantoja inside the distance as the last leg. 5 rounds, fucking KO or sub. And, dude, it goes out. And that reminded me of the Aspen Blades 1.
Yeah.
Different injury, but same amount of time, basically. It was the first 20 seconds of the fight, roughly.
Yeah.
It was just – I felt bad for Pantoja. I'm actually happy for Josh Van. I'm good friends with Michael as well. He's his main trainer partner. And, of course, he FaceTimes me that night. To rub it in, but
really, yeah.
I'm happy for Josh Van. I think he's an exciting champ. I kind of liked what he said after because it kind of got misconstrued that he then gave Pantoja his respect and was like, "We can run it back," blah blah blah. But pretty crazy. You did what was the end new parlay, Alec, on the co-main and main? We would have 2 dogs. We posted it on Longshots.
Oh yeah.
And new parlay would have paid nice, Austin. It would have been Peter Yan money line. What did he close at? 4-1?
I had plus 350 or
350,
so.
and
yeah,
then
Van was Van took some money. He closed plus 190 or something.
Plus 1,500 it would have paid roughly to take both dogs in the co-main and the main. So a little bit of luck involved there. Obviously, Peter Yan deserves his flowers. He fucking looked, bro. That body shot. It reminded me of O'Malley's teep shot on Merab or whatever it was. Merab recovered, but that hurt him. I can't believe. What's your take on Merab's corner, bro? Are they just delusional, Aljo and the head coach? And how could you ever have Merab up 3-0 in that fight? Up
yeah, I don't know.
Strikes were very comparable, but bro, all the damage was on the Peter Yan side.
I don't think there's any benefit at all telling your fighter that you're up 3-0 unless it's so abundantly obvious.
Yeah.
You controlled 4.5 out of 5 minutes. And it's even the fighter themselves knows they're up 2-0 and you'd be like, hey, play it safe this last round. Other than that, there was no reason in a fight at least that competitive that it could have been that way. I thought Merab got the second round and the third round was kind of close.
The safe play, Josh?
It did. Safe parlays 1-for-1 on the return.
Remind me what it was again, bro.
Jalen Turner inside the distance, and then the Henry Talbot fight to go the distance, which was a sweat.
That was a nice sweat, bro. That was such a good fight.
Yeah, it was. Henry came to fight in his retirement fight. Matt, there's so many little storylines, Matty. I know you and I both were on Jan Blachowicz submission, and we found out in the walkouts, they're like, oh yeah, Jan didn't lift weights for this fight, and I go, well, there goes the takedown threat.
Yeah, so, that was towards the end of round 3. He looks like he could have got there on the sub, if we had another 60 seconds in that last round.
Yeah,
I didn't like his game plan whatsoever, honestly. Guys, we moved the show to Wednesdays for you guys. We did it a day earlier. It's always going to be Wednesdays. We're doing our best with props because Wednesdays are tough. Even on Hard Rock, I would say 80% of the props are up right now, Austin. I don't know about FanDuel, DraftKings, some of the other ones. But most of the props are up by Wednesdays. Sometimes you have some new fights. I think even the Bobby Green fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that'd be crazy because that one is
I might be wrong there.
Relatively new.
I hate the heavyweight fight is no props right now. I don't know what Aspen's KO is. I was waiting to see what that is. So we'll use whatever sites are available. That's the beauty of the show is we're not tied in with nobody, guys. We can look at any book. The goal is just to try to find value, talk through some of these fights, see what numbers look good, and that way you guys can watch it live. You can watch this show Friday or Saturday before the fights. But the reason we do it Wednesdays now is simply for you guys, even if we're limited on some of the props that we can talk through that we usually could on Thursday nights.
Yeah. Certainly any of the informed ones we have a lot of. We've had a lot of movement on this card, which we'll get into as we dive in. I have us by count at 12 fights, actually 13 because we kept Mr. Joe Anderson Brito today. We'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, this show will probably be a little lighter than last week.
It will be.
We'll probably go 75 to 90 minutes, I would imagine, tonight.
And I read the comments in the AI TikTok generation of too long, please shorten. So we'll try to keep it more brief this week.
Yeah, but those comments, guys, there's a reason you guys can use the chapters at the bottom if you watch after the fact.
That's true.
You can scroll through. You can tune in whenever you want if you want to come from the main card. But we're going to try to give you guys as much as we can here.
All right, you want to dive in, Matty? Let's take a look up at the first fight up on the night here. Ashamedly model eligible here. Jamie Lynn Horth taking on Teresa Bleda at 125 pounds. This is high-level Apex stuff. This is what gets us out of the bed in the morning, right, Matty? We got Teresa Bleda coming off really almost a 2-year layoff. She's had some injury stuff going on. If you infamously remember, she was knocked out by Natalia Silva in a prospect fight a few years ago. Got a unanimous decision over Gabby Fernandez that has aged well as well.
That's a good win.
Yeah, and then Jamie Lynn Horth on the other side coming off a win over Vanessa Demopoulos in Canada. That was a good showing for her. And she now at this point a multi-time UFC veteran. So Matty, right now it looks like Bleda's like minus 155. It's crazy. She opened offshore like around minus 400. And then it dropped considerably. Yeah. Seems like it's kind of stabilized here. Over 2.5 is minus 300, as you'd expect in a fight that looks like this. So what do you think about this first fight up, bud?
The layout's a little concerning, but I like Teresa here. I'm not big on Jamie Lynn here, or just in general. So really, I'm just looking to talk through some props on the Teresa side. Her decision plus 155. The KO is 11-1. The submission is plus 575.
I'm good with decision. I've got Bleda decision at plus 130. I've got Teresa minus 131 to win overall. I'm with you, dude. The big scandal here, like the oh my god, is this fight fixed thing? Is Bleda has a ACL tear that she's fully rehabbed at this point. So like what? I mean, we just saw Alex Perez look pretty good off an ACL tear. Like if they've been through the rehab, I don't really care. Ring rust can go both ways analytically. It's nice to not have, but Bleda has by far the best win of these two against Fernandez. The Natalia Silva fight looks like it was a mess for her when she was like 21 or 22 years old when that fight happened. Like it's really hard to hold that against her. And I watched Horth really struggle to put any sort of game plan or strategy together against Veronica Hardy. And I've kind of been out since. Like Vanessa Demopoulos in her last fight, Vanessa's small for 115. So she was up at 125. Kudos to our slides guy, JJ, added the props up here for us so you guys can kind of see what are available. I believe these are Hard Rock props. But
yeah, they're probably going to be a mixture, guys.
They're like a mixture depending on what was available, but you'll get a good idea of whatever your home book is. But so I like Bleda decision here, man. I think she could take her down a couple of times. I already played on underdog. Bleda's takedown line was 1.5. I feel like that's really nice. I would put that. What do I have it for? I would project it for 3.77 takedowns. So I think in daily fantasy, I like Bleda over takedowns here as well. So it kind of sounds like we're in alignment, right?
Yeah. I think the decision makes sense. I'm glad that it has a little value there. Maybe this is something I look at here. Probably not, but maybe it's something I look at in a cycle. I got to build 2 cycles, bro. And people are counting on a cycle to finish the year. Like, so maybe there's a world where I don't go for 40-1, 70-1. Maybe we'll see like a 15-1 cycle. I don't know. We'll see.
I was gonna say, do we dust off the old safe cycle?
I can't do a safe cycle, but I could do a more conservative cycle.
A more conservative cycle.
Maybe, yeah.
Can you flash that up? My official model verdict here, I got Bleda minus 131. And then decision plus 130. It's the most recent comment, Matty. We had someone asking what the model said. So that's the official ruling. I think
that's that guy that's going to ask you every fight what the model says.
He's my favorite fan then. But all right, why don't we move on? Because that fight is what it is. I mean, we kind of all know what it's going to look like. This one, I have no idea what it's going to look like. Alan Fry, AJ Fry taking on Guilherme Pat. the heavyweight division is in such a bad place that both of these guys are like contender series level fighters, but we can't actually afford to send one of them packing. So welcome to UFC, everybody. I will say I dusted off the old Dana White contender series film review, saw what I could do with these guys.
Please.
At least for heavyweights, they seem a little bit lighter on their feet and not chronically fat. So that's good. Interesting fight. Right now, Pat is a favorite. He's minus 185, and the under is minus 155, as you'd expect in kind of a level-setting heavyweight slugfest. Matty, have you had a chance to look at either of these guys? Like, because I know we're looking for knockout props. We're always looking for knockout props. Like,
yeah.
Do you have one of these guys you like better than the other?
Honestly, this is one fight I've spent maybe 2 minutes on, bro. I was hoping you had something for me here, but there's no KO. I can't find a KO prop. Maybe on like a bet online or something. I'll try to check here or somewhere. But chat, if you guys see the KO props anywhere, let us know in the comments. But this is I don't have any insight for you, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I'm almost out of my element, but I can give you what I've got. So Pat, I guess, is probably getting the benefit of the doubt because he's fought a superior level of competition with LFA in Brazil. Had a really impressive looking knockout in his last in his last appearance there. It was kind of a mounting. I believe he got in the third round as well. Super athletic guy, 6'5", 80-inch reach. Very much looks the part for a guy who's going to contend at heavyweight. I don't even think it's like a Taliesin Teixeira thing where he almost looks a little bit gangly with his chin up in the air. I feel like his boxing is pretty solid. The takedown defense is a little suspect, so I think the grappling component of this fight could be huge because Fry is a guy that likes to get on top. Like a couple of his finishes I've seen are ground and pounds, so that might be his tape. Let's see. I scraped to the dead of the tape. Assume this Allen guy sucks based off the pathetic level of competition he's been given. That was a red flag I had as well. His level of competition. Yeah. He's training out with Derek Brunson, your guy Derek Brunson, at Brunson Fitness and MMA. I will say that he certainly hasn't fought any level of competition on the regional scene. A lot of regional stuff in Arkansas. It's just so tough to tell. This feels very much like a contender series fight to me. So I can't really get super behind it, but I will say I don't think it would be crazy surprising to me if Pat wasn't able to keep his feet and Fry just was able to get on top and end the fight because Pat had no idea what he was doing. So I think by that principle, the money line here is irresponsible, but the total does feel just in that the level of competition is so bad on both sides that it does feel like one of these guys is going to end up being significantly better than the other. It is I agree with our commenters. It is a contender series fight. So
what would you need the KO price to be? So first of all, you lean Pat here?
A straight pick, I would lean Pat, but I think at these odds, it's Fry or pass to me.
Yeah. What would a KO price need to be for you here on either guy to take a stab at it?
I think we could get Fry KO at like 4-1, somewhere around there.
Yeah. And Pat's probably like two something.
Yeah. I think he'll be short of 2-1.
Because the over-under is pretty reasonable for a heavyweight fight. I mean, it's minus 150 for the under.
It's just a weird fight. Neither of these guys have been extended. I know Pat hasn't been outside the first round. I don't think Fry has either, to be honest with you. I'm taking a look right now just to verify that for our audience. Yeah, he went outside the first twice. Fry did. He went to the third round as well as pretty deep into the second round. So I guess if we get out of the first round, that's probably a good sign. But like heavyweight slop, very appropriate for the handicap here. You and I are looking for knockouts wherever we can find them. We don't have a prop here yet, and it's just like, God, do I really want to pitch the cycle to one of these guys? And I think the answer is probably not.
Yeah, I mean, Fry's best win is probably the 12-3 guy, Justin Frazier.
Yeah, Bellator alum. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a round 1 KO halfway through the first.
And Frazier isn't crazy old. He's 36. I mean, he wasn't anything special in Bellator, and he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He lost to Juan Espino back in the day.
Expensive.
My guy won.
That's expensive there.
That is very expensive for a fight that's only minus 155 under 1.5. Because like,
I think the way to look at this fight is a 2-3 KO angle on either guy.
Yeah, I mean, you get to the second round, you never know. There could definitely be some nerves in this spot. I kind of always like those cheeky angles on the Contender Series.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's move on.
All right. Yeah, let's get the heck out of there. Thank you, Matty. You saved me. You threw me a life vest. This fight much more handicapable, if you will, because we've seen both of these ladies. Luana Santos taking on Melissa Croden. Croden coming off that super impressive finish she got in Canada against Tainara Lisboa. Really turned the tide late in that fight. Taking on a gal in Luana Santos that's kind of had her ups and downs in UFC with wins, losses, weight issues. She's now at 135 to stay, which I'd say is a good place to be just because the division isn't very strong. So she'll begin her pursuit for this division's crown in this top 10. She's minus 125 or so. I've seen those odds actually really sporadic over Croden, who's really taking a little bit of money. Size should be a dynamic here, Matty. But I guess my question would be, because we've seen her a lot more, what are your general thoughts on Luana Santos with where we say? Because she's coming off a finish of the same fighter, Lisboa, in her last fight. So how do you feel about her?
That's interesting. And Lisboa had never been KO'd before fighting Croden. Croden KO'd her, and then now Croden's facing Luana Santos, who's never been KO'd. And dude, the number that stuck out to me was the Croden KO prop. Just because, like, it's very short, but it's kind of sneaky too.
Yeah, it is weirdly short.
Yeah, for women's MMA, the KO is plus 450 against a fighter who's never been KO'd. But Croden, I believe, has 6 KOs professionally. She's 6-0 to the knockout. And her last one was that round 3 ground and pound from top position. Yeah.
I came away pretty impressed with her gas tank and her power from that fight against Lisboa. I was not expecting that. I expected her to be much more of a clinch fighter, that, you know, she'd use her size as a particular weapon. But I guess the thing I'd be concerned about is Santos has shown she can legitimately grapple, and there's one rear naked choke win years ago on Croden's resume, and Lisboa is not somebody that is like a jiu-jitsu black belt. Santos is. So, like, I think that's the next test for her.
Yeah, for sure. I lean the Croden side here as a small dog, but
really interesting.
I do. I lean her as a small dog, but the first 3 fights of the night, like, I hate not having action, but man, these first 3 fights, I just don't see much value whatsoever here.
Yeah, I don't think the sub prop for Santos is long enough that I'm interested. I don't think Luana's going to have issues with weight, because that was when she was trying to make 125. Up at 135, like, you hope that's what happened to Ryan Battle, is like he moved up in weight and still had weight issues. So it was like a discipline thing more than anything.
That's all it is. Yeah, it's just discipline.
I don't think that Luana's going to have issues making weight at 135. She did. I think the problem here is if she's just too big, or Croden's reach gets in the way. But you go back and you watch that first round against Lisboa, Croden was getting pieced up. And that's my concern here, is that Santos has had really good extended performances in 3-round fights. I know the Casey O'Neill fight didn't go with her way, but I love King Casey O'Neill. I don't know if she's fought since you and I broke up the first time. But like I think the world of O'Neill. I think her pace and really just her willingness to bite down on the mouthpiece. I think she's still got a very high ceiling at 125. So going the distance with her in a decently close fight where she was favored, I think is a decent showing. And like I don't feel good enough about Croden that like to say she's not an entry level bum. So I got to watch this line. If it's shrinking, if it gets close to pick'em territory, I might have to fire on Luana.
Fair enough.
All righty. Let's move on here. Talk about a couple of
props. We have props on this one.
We do. We got heavyweight slop with props, so it's way better than the first one already. We got Steven Aspen, one of the stars of the Contender Series this past year.
Yeah.
He was a talker.
Fortune, bro.
I liked Borisaccio too, but he was talking about sucking Dana White's toes, and he was talking about him an ex-fat boy. He had plenty to say when he was on the mic after the Contender Series against Sean Sharaf, who really late notice circumstances against Junior Taffa in his UFC debut. It was a tough spot. It was a weird fight. He completely gassed out in I think the 6-7 minute mark. Taffa ended up getting a knockout win there. We don't really mess with the Taffa bros in 2025. So it's kind of almost like a level set for both guys. Aspen, coming off the impressive win on the Contender Series, has taken some money. He's minus 205. Under 1.5 rounds here is minus 170, which I think is kind of interesting. So, Matty, do you like Asplund in this spot? It certainly feels like he's the guy that would get the favorable treatment here, but can Sharaf pull the upset?
I think he can, but I mean, I can't do it with him, bro. I just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, what I saw from Steven Aspen, this guy's like a fucking O lineman for the like. He literally is a 6'5". I mean, Sean has almost a similar reach if those numbers are right, which is pretty. I mean, he's a big guy too at 6'3", but Aspen is just a monster, dude.
Yeah,
I had a huge bet against him on Contender Series, and it lost in the first 20 seconds, unfortunately. But I'm not going to doubt this Aspen guy. I mean, can Sean grapple him up here?
I don't think so. It didn't go particularly well against Atafa, bro. Just 12%.
And if you can't grapple top, I don't think if you can't grapple Atafa, bro, up, I don't think you're going to grapple Asplin up either. Yeah. I like the Asplin KO, but I don't love the price, obviously, here, -125. Yeah. I do think I'd rather play the under 1.5 here at -170 than the KO on Asplin.
Yeah. You know who Asplin reminds me a little bit of? Just maybe this is a little bit of like body stereotyping, but I do think the way he's going to win at heavyweight is very similar to Chris Daukaus, where I think he's going to have a speed advantage over a lot of guys. And it surprised me that he took Guarasaccio out of there so quickly, because in his regional tape, he was like a 2-3 mounting with volume type of guy. And the thing about him is he's got a chin. He can take some bombs, and he did from Guarasaccio in the Contender Series. And that's why I feel like Sharaf is just a guy that is a lot less athletic than he is. And I kind of like Asplin, but like fight starts round 2 KO, round 3 KO, because that's who he was on the regional scene. And he got into this wildfire fight with Guarasaccio, who, to be honest, was talking a lot of shit before the fight. Like, he was talking about, I'm going to run through this guy and like all this guy. I mean, I bought it. So
I bought it too much. I paid a price for it. I gave it to the hype, bro.
Is that Asplin number right on KO? Because I feel like -125 for early or late KO was actually really pretty friendly.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where JJ got this number. Maybe Bet Online. Let me check. It's not up.
We're just going to make it up.
I'm not seeing it anywhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's Bet Online, -125.
Okay. I mean, if it comes on shore anywhere around there, I think. Yeah, but at the same time, I think a lot of that has to do with Sharaf's cardio. Is that like he's going to
80 cents is still a big difference. It's a heavyweight fight. It's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy, but Sharaf's cardio, I can't see if he's undergoing adversity, I can't see him lasting all 15 minutes, like based on what we saw.
I think ground and pounds here.
The numbers feel honestly very friendly to me when I evaluate Sharaf's performance against Junior frickin' Tafa. When Asplin's a guy that I came away from the Contender Series, I really didn't know what to expect from him. I was pretty impressed in the 20 seconds. Obviously, the numbers are video game, like 42 significant strikes a minute, because it was like a 20-second fight. But this is a guy that when I tell you, remember how hot Daukaus came into UFC because he was getting matched up with these unranked bums, and his hand speed was just way faster, and he was putting dudes out in no time. Like, he put out Rodrigo Nascimento. He reminds me a lot of him in that how he's going to win, but I think he's got a way better chin, just not as good of a grappler. So it'll be interesting to see how UFC matches him up. But I like Asplin and KO, especially at these prices, bro.
Let's run it. Guys, before we do the next fight here, I'm going to start doing something. We might do it more next year, but if my super chats are working on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, if you pay for a super chat, I think it's a few bucks. I don't know what it is. We haven't tested it yet. If you give out a play on a super chat, I'm going to pick my favorite super chat of every show, and I'm going to put a parlay in on that. And I'm going to cut whoever the super chat is in on the parlay. So whoever wants to test the first one, go ahead and try it. We'll see if it works. I don't know yet. What do you think on this fight, bro?
So you're gonna give out a part of any parlay winnings if it smacks?
So I haven't figured out exactly what we're doing, but I'll probably put 100 on a parlay from a super chat, and I'll just go 50-50 with whoever gave it out.
Okay.
We'll do here. So if anyone wants to test that out, let's see. This fight, I got some action for you, but
okay. Hey, let's talk about it, because it is one of the more interesting storylines of the card. Yaroslav Amosov is coming over from Bellator. He was the champion over at Bellator at 170. So like, this is another one of those high profile Bellator acquisitions now that they've kind of folded. He's getting the ultimate gatekeeper, right? And Neil Magny. That kind of, if you are going to sink or swim in the rankings, they kind of give you Neil Magny to figure it out. Magny is certainly getting up there, but it hasn't really stopped him. He finished Olesiejczuk dos Santos, had the weird refereeing thing that led to a finish of Jake Matthews. So Neil Magny winning streak in the year 2025. He's a pretty big underdog here again, though. He's plus 300 with Amosov coming back at minus 400, Matty. The prop market is interesting here as well when the under is minus 200, which is kind of weird for a Magny fight. So what do you think about this fight? Like, I'm genuinely curious what your take is, because I'm interested.
We got our first super chat from Sam.
Bang.
Sam, you got to give me an actual playable parlay that you like, and I'll put it in for you. If you're the only super chat on the whole show, then I'm putting 100 on your parlay and 50 of it's yours.
Hey, there you go.
So Sam's on the money here. This might be I'm going to try to get a better price here, but than what the screen shows. But plus 185 is not bad. I think, like, for example, if you look at the Jake Matthews Neil Magny fight, obviously, do you agree that people are like super high on Neil Magny again?
This is certainly like the highest I think public opinion has been of Magny.
I mean, he deserves some of it, right? 2 straight wins. And then his losses are the best in the world. Morales and Prates, 2 of the best guys in the world. And Ian Gary, 3 of the best guys in the world. And then he beats Malat. He beats Zaleski dos Santos. He beats Jake Matthews with an impressive round 3 sub. The difference here is I think Amosov just has way better wrestling than Jake Matthews. And I think he'll be able to – you have to get Magny down early, in my opinion, unless you're Prates or Morales and you can just finish him. But I think we'll be able to get him down early. I think this guy's the real deal. And I kind of feel like we're going to get some value on him here on this sub or the finish price, just because Neil Magny is like stock is way higher right now in the eyes of everyone in the betting market. So I kind of like him to get this fight to the ground and get a sub here, maybe early, maybe like the Gilbert Burns fight in round 1. I can see here. So all right, the parlay, Amosov sub, Villegas KO. All right,
okay.
Let me write that. I'm going to keep track of these throughout the show here. If you can actually take notes, Alex, that's the first one. If you can just take a picture of that on your phone.
If you're super chatting, you got to give him a parlay. We can't just have solo.
Yeah, it can't be a straight bet, boys. I'm not betting Jillian to. I mean, maybe, but not in a straight bet. Yeah. So you can resubmit one. You don't have to pay again. Just give a comment here for May.
Put that on his fucking tombstone. I'm not betting straight bets.
I mean, if I'm betting something that someone's putting in, it's got to be somewhat juicy because we're splitting it too. You know.
True. But
what if he can get his wrestling going? Magny is the most wins in welterweight history.
Is that Trayshawn Moore photoshopped with a couple of belts? Is that guy's profile picture?
Yeah, it is. Automatically deleting this comment. No, I'm kidding.
But I find this fight interesting. I don't feel good about it because, like, you're right that Magny should theoretically be at his high point. Why is he still plus 300 here? Like, that's a big, big number that odds makers are laying with a guy. And I watched all 12 plus minutes of Amosov's fight with Jason Jackson, and it's like, Jackson is a pretty athletic guy.
Jason Jackson would finish Neil Magny, bro.
Oh, that is ludicrous, bro.
Jason Jackson would finish Neil Magny.
That is insane for a guy that just survived Jake Matthews. Magny beat Jeff Neal back in the day. Magny has so many high-level wins. What is Jason Jackson's highest career-level win?
He's 38 now, though.
Yeah, I know. But, like, I don't know. I feel like Jason Jackson and Neil Magny are on a completely different plane of talent. But it does concern me that Magny is such a low dart here because, frankly, Magny's takedown defense, just 55%. It's very gettable if Amosov takes a very wrestling heavily approach here. Jake Matthews did finish. Oh, that's insane. Jake Matthews couldn't shine Jason Jackson suit. I think Matthews is tapping or knocking out Jason Jackson. Put some respect on the Celtic kid's name, man. There are different levels to this sport. When you talk about UFC and then Matthews quickly submitted Chidi and Joquani, and Joquani would put Jason Jackson's lights. He would have to go home on a stretcher if he fought Chidi and Joquani. I think this is crazy. You look at Magny's last few losses, though. It's unbelievable that the level of competition he's lost to. He lost to Morales. He lost to Ian Gary. He lost to Carlos Prates. I think Shavkat was in there back in the day. He's pretty much beaten everyone else. Like, when you talk about the gatekeeper aspect, I watch Amosov struggle with Jason Jackson. I'm like, is he going to really come in here and dominate Neil Magny? I think the over is actually a decent play in this fight because I could see Amosov winning a decision. But Magny's really had I think a harder time as he's aged, where he's struggling the most is keeping himself safe on the ground. I feel like he got into a really bad position against Morales, got into a really bad position against Matthews, almost got finished. So I would be scared to bet Neil here. It's not like a spot where I race to bet him in this spot. I do think that plus 300 is insane. I was old enough to remember the patchy mixed Bellator hype, but if I'm being fair and I'm being honest, the 170-pound Bellator guy that came over was Michael Venom Page, and he's done really, really well. So it may not be the same for each weight class. So
we got another super chat here for Alec. If you take a picture of this one, this is a good cycle. It's a solid cycle.
Okay.
We got the sub here. We got Valeas KO, Royval decision. So that's another one we'll take a look at by the end of the show. I think we have one more. Where did it go?
The most recent comment was our earlier super chat. I told him to make a parlay. He did. Robertson decision.
Right here.
Melky Costa decision.
Parlay. That's another one, Alec. Jillian decision, Costa decision, plus 875. So we have three parlays so far on the super chat.
Yeah, we got 3 parlays.
We got 3 to look at so far. Let's keep it going. So what's your final take on this fight? Gun to your head.
Over and not picking a winner.
Over 2.5. Let's keep it moving, boys.
All right. Alrighty, so let's talk about this fight, which just came to fruition today. Joe Anderson Brito gets a short notice guy again. He's taking on Isaac Thomson. I'd be lying to you if I said I knew a lot about Isaac Thomson because I learned who he was today. Joe Anderson's a guy that you've really liked in the past.
I love Joe Anderson, bro.
You played him against Pat Sabatini. At this point,
that's probably the most shocking result that I've lost a bet on in a long time. But it didn't age that badly because Sabatini won his next fight or two, right?
Yeah, he definitely beat Chepe in his last fight. So, it didn't age poor. And then you look at the other.
I thought there was no way he wouldn't chin Sabatini, bro. I thought there was literally no way. And Sabatini did exactly what he needed to do.
You were at the Gomi fight, right? Gomi Brito?
Yes.
In France.
Yeah. I needed that round 2 sub to win a shitload of money, and he fucking got it.
I think that was a robbery. I thought Brito won that fight.
He should have won 29-28.
And that's another one of the loss. And then Bill Algeo back in the day, that was Brito's like UFC debut, and Senior Bill Algeo was Senior Perfecto was he was a different cat back in his prime, maybe than we currently know him as. So what do you think about Brito in this spot then? Like, how are you looking to play him against Melsik Bogdasarian? And we don't really have a good idea of how it's going to translate, but how do you typically look to bet him? I guess would be.
I mean, I love his hands, bro. I love his power. I was looking at the KO in that Melky fight. I don't know shit about Isaac Thomson. I'm in the same spot as you, so you guys in the chat, let us know what you think here. This guy Isaac Thomson is, what is he? 9-2.
Yeah.
4 KOs, 1 KO loss. Coming off a split decision in LFA. I haven't.
KO loss was years ago. In
Did this get announced today or yesterday? Yesterday.
It was today.
Today. All right, we got another super chat.
I thought it was today.
Let's keep it going. Kevin, round 3, Costa decision. Robertson sub. There's the 4th one, Alec. We got you got to include the odds at least. Try to include the odds when you submit it. That should be around, well, that's probably 40-1, probably more. What do you think, Austin? That round 3 for Kevin is bro, we're going to get to that fight, but like.
I'm going to have to look at the total in that fight. I haven't looked too carefully at it, but so you prefer hands? Because I always think I am most afraid of, I think Brito's sub danger is probably his best attribute. He averages 1 submission attempt per 15 flat. He racked up that nasty guillotine on JSP, Jonathan Pierce, back in the day.
And he was losing that fight too.
He was. And that's kind of
that fight. That was when I became a big fan of Brito.
Yeah. And then he split Jack Shore's shin wide open as well. So like he's done it a lot of different ways. Thompson hasn't been submitted, also doesn't have like an illustrious grappling history as well. I kind of lean like Brito early sub here. Like that was kind of my very base read. Like it's just so tough because Thomson has actually been fighting. Like he's been fighting in LFA since 21, and then he was like 19 years old. So he's just so far from his prime. He's a team alpha male guy. I don't know a lot, but in general, I would say there are not many featherweights where you'd comfortably pick the other guy against Joe Anderson Brito, and this is not one of them for me.
Yeah. We got another one here, another super chat. Women's cycle, Croden KO.
Bleda decision. Robertson.
Guys, include the odds. Guys, include the odds on these, boys.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
The last one's plus 8,500.
This one right here?
No, before that.
The last one is which one?
The Kevin round 3 one. Plus
the Kevin round 3 parlays 85-1 on the last one, guys. This one is probably what we got 4-1 on the KO. Jillian sub. What do you think here?
Lance is crazy like me. You're going 2 women's MMA finishes on one card. You like losing money on those like me, Lance. All right. So I just don't think we have a lot to talk about with this fight. We don't know enough of the odds. I'm going to guess that knockout is going to be a slight favorite over submission here. I genuinely don't know. And I guess we'll just have to see how it progresses. If like when you come to walk in the official cycle, they always say that about you, man.
I'm not baked, boys.
Yeah, he's not.
I cannot smoke weed these days. I smoked a lot of weed growing up, but every now and then occasionally. But actually, this is what I'm on, the pouches. So if that's why you think I'm baked, maybe. Here's another one, boys. Costa sub. Holy shit, this one's crazy. Bigger bets. What's good? Costa sub, Royval decision. Kevin KO. 100 pays 22,000. That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Whoa, Costa sub is big. I guess we'll get there and look at it, but I did not expect it to be 10-1.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. All right, why don't we take a look at this one? Because you and I have talked about this one a little bit. I think it's one of the more interesting betting fights on the card. Jillian Robertson taking on Amanda Lemos. I think this is a super high-level fight. Like, I respect both of these ladies a lot. And it'll tell us a lot about Jillian Robertson and her run sort of up the strawweight ladder. Lemos on the other side here is 38. She's coming off. She was able to thwart back Yasmin Lucindo in sort of a prospect sort of rise type of fight like that. I guess the question for you, Matty, is do you think she could do it again, or at least at the odds that present themselves? Because she's plus 170. Robertson coming back around minus 200, and then the over 2.5 is about a pick 'em. So what do you think about this fight?
Yeah, I'm really split here. I think Amanda's a really tough test for Jillian on the feet. I really do. But like you said, Jillian's good at this weight class, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this weight class. She might be too much physically for her. I don't think Jillian's going to sub her, bro. I really don't. I know a lot of people are on the sub. I can see Jillian winning the decision here. But I could also see Amanda just winning the exchanges on the feet. I want to watch some more tape on this one for sure. Amanda's 30. She's 38 years old, right? And
yes, she's 38.
That's a fair point here.
I don't think it's that short notice. Like we've had this one for a little bit now, but like I will say, you mentioned she's good in this weight class. Robertson's 5-1 at strawweight. I think it all comes down to, you remember the loss for Robertson was against Tabitha Ricci. She couldn't get her to the ground. Her stand-up, I think, was rudimentary at that point. It's gotten a little bit better, but certainly if this one was on the feet for 15 minutes, you'd have to favor Lemos by quite a bit. And I think that's the question is she going to be able to ground Lemos? And I don't think Amanda's very good off of her back. Like we saw that in the Weili Zhang fight. And I kind of come back to, I certainly think just in terms of just wrestling and grappling, I think Jillian has as good of skills as Weili. It's just Weili's ability to marry it to her striking that makes her so special and unbeatable at this level. Jillian doesn't have those hands at this point, but I could very much see this fight being Jillian is in a dominant position on top, and Lemos is struggling to get free. She's been submitted a couple of times in her career, but I'm with you. Like when Weili was unable to do it over the course of 25 minutes, I don't really see now. Well, I'll give you model results here. That way you guys can hear it. I've got Robertson minus 183. So if you caught my picks in the Discord, you got the right side of that because she was about minus 170 on Monday. She's taken a little bit of steam, so not there yet. I've got her sub plus 257. I've got her decision plus 275. So what numbers do we have on the screen here? We've got Robertson decision plus 230. We've got submission plus 250. So I'd show a tiny value against that number if that was the case. And then Lemos decision is plus 275. I've got that plus 433. So let's see where am I best on? I'm not really showing any value in Lemos. Just
what do you have Lemos KO out of curiosity?
Plus 938.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, Lemos lost to Tatiana Suarez. I don't think Jillian's wrestling's nearly as good. Her grappling's obviously very good. Does this not remind you a little bit of that Yasmin Lucindo fight, though?
Yeah.
If you remember, that was the last leg of my 100K cycle was Yasmin Lucindo by decision, and Lemos won 2 rounds to 1, maybe 3-0. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I think this fight is kind of like very similar to that matchup, honestly.
Yeah.
I kind of lean towards Amanda Lemos by decision here, but I'm not sold on this fight. I'm going to watch some more tape.
Yeah, it could be a good one for like a cycle fight, but I have a hard time finding an angle that I love the way the numbers broke down. Maybe the market will move a little bit this week, but like in general, I thought the early violence numbers were good. I've got it minus 120 to not go the distance, but now a lot of books you'll see it around like minus 140 or so. So I hope you got in on some of the early stuff I put in the Discord because it's kind of gone. I'm showing at this moment the faintest value on Jillian's sub, but I don't feel great about it because one of the Lemos subs, if you remember, was that fluky arm triangle by Jessica Andrade. It was like, but it's like
you would win that fight 8 out of 10 times too.
Especially now, like what's happened to Jessica and some of the attrition she's had. But
we got another super chat here. Amanda Lemos decision, Kevin KO, Costa, not a cycle, but Kevin KO, Costa decision. Guys, remember to try to include the odds on the parlay if you can. We'll write that one down as well, Alec.
Vallejo's KO getting some love from you guys.
Very popular.
We'll have to talk about it. Costa and Lemos going to lose. Vallejos again. We got a lot of Kevin Vallejo, but we are pro.
It doesn't have to be a cycle in the super chats. Just give me some good plus money. That's all.
Can be a long shot. Can be anything you want it to be. Matty will have all sorts of different long shots when we get there. But before we hop up onto the main card, which I learned maybe a few hours ago, is 6 fights now. They really shuffled this card. Do want to remind you about Homopicks. Homopicks is your place to go for actual sharp analysis, not my model trying, not Matty and I building long shots, anything like that. Hayden and Nolan know what they are doing. They are sharps to keep the lights on for us. Nolan's event streak to 8 straight winning events last week at UFC 323. Hayden is just on this absurd run. He was up and over another 6 units last week. You want their picks delivered into your inbox, DFS, betting, all sorts of stuff. Code HOF, 7 days free. You get the last event of the year for free. You're primed. You see what it's all about. You can finish and you can go with it as we move into 2026 when we come back from the break as well. These guys will have some PFL stuff as well. So there's a lot of good stuff on Homopicks and the picks there. Code HOF, 7 days free. And you can try it either at homopicks.com, Homopicks on Instagram, or it's on Winnable as well. You can join the Discord as well, which we have a link to in the episode description. And because you guys are listening to the Matty Bet Show, we did this last week. First 50 people to DM the Homopicks Instagram. You got to be following to be eligible. You can get this particular week's picks for free. So some cool interactive stuff we're doing with the audience for you guys, but 7 days free. You can join the team. And it's really honestly not that much for how often these guys win at everything. So respect the heck out of it.
It's a good comment, by the way. We didn't really talk about that. That was Verna Janiroba. I mean, that's not that bad of a submission loss there.
You're blowing over your own ad read, bro. I'm trying to tell these people how great Nolan and Hayden are. You're trying to break down.
Ads, bro. I hate ads.
Yeah. Well, I like that ad though. You guys should check that out. But what do we got? It's not even legal to gamble, and I'm up 10K. This is Saeed Nurmagomedov himself.
They're not. He said they're not legal to gamble. Don't put your life away, bro.
You'd say Bo knockout, Aaron sub, and Islam points 100K or $100 paid 5K. That was a good cycle there.
We got one more super chat here before we go to the next fight. Lopez KO. Holloway minus 200 and Strickland.
Is this for like the card next year?
You can submit another one, brother. I'm not going to put in a future parlay, but you can submit another one for free.
No, Matty's got units to make this week, bro. The holiday presents are due. We are talking this week, UFC Vegas 112. You got to dive in, including this fight, which I guess we'll kind of dive in together. Came about yesterday. Bobby King Green taking on Lance Gibson Jr., who's a newcomer. He was a Bellator alum for a while. I don't know why they felt like they got to rush King Green back here before we see him one last time here in 2025. But it has not been the best 18-ish months for King Green. The submission loss to Paddy Pimblett, the knockout loss to Mauricio Rufy that was just disrespectful with how clean that was. Does he get back on the horse here against a guy in Gibson that hasn't quite faced the same level of experience? And I think that's why he's minus 210. Oh, we got it. Vallejo's decision. Cesare Olesiejczuk, we'll talk about KO, and then the Neil Magny fight to end by sub. You get sub both ways there. That's kind of an interesting angle.
Not too bad there.
But what do you think about King Green taking on Gibson here?
Bro, I mean, Bobby Green should win this fight, but, like, is his chin still there? Like, what does this KO need to be for Lance Gibson for us to take a stab at it, you know?
Yeah.
What does the price need to be?
I know that he kind of walked himself into a submission against Paddy, but you see Paddy's grappling and his size translates to a high level. The Rufy thing was just a highlight circus kick that he is capable of. I don't know if I'm out on Bobby Green's chin. Like, everyone told me about Bobby Green's chin with Jim Miller, and he kicked Jim Miller's ass for 15 minutes straight.
Yeah. And
you
then
know what I mean?
The Rufy thing, no one was surviving that kick. So
yeah. I kind of like Bobby in dominant fashion here. Like, this might be a spot I'd go to point spread because we've seen he submitted Tony Ferguson late. I think the knockout is very live here, and then if not, I think he'll be comfortably ahead unless he's completely fallen off a cliff. Like, it just scares me a little bit. Like, why is he coming back here? Why this opponent? Why so soon? And I think it will help both of the chins that this one at least is at 160. They're not cutting all the way down to 155. So.
Yeah. What do you think of 2-3 for Green?
I like it. I still think a lot of Green when you look at the total package with him. I hadn't pulled his numbers into my database, but I know his striking success rate's north of 2. 62% striking defense is still elite. Like, I've always thought he has a weird defensive style where it's predicated a lot on head movement. He kind of leaves his hands slow, but Bellator always doing the most with their lighting and their picture. Yeah, the Bellator lighting is shining on Gibson. I honestly don't know much about him, which makes me feel a little uncomfortable that maybe he is this rising stock. I don't think Gibson's actually fought in the last couple of years or so. Let me get his last appearance as I was looking today. Lance Gibson, his dad fought in UFC by
November 2024. He won by
okay, so it's been about a year. Last appearance in Bellator, he was knocked out in the first round by a jab. Not ideal.
Yeah.
But I do think the grappling base is interesting. Remember Bobby kind of like fell into that takedown with Paddy, and that was what allowed the opening.
Yeah, that was a weird outcome.
Weren't you on KO that night?
What?
Weren't you on KO that night?
I don't remember on that fight, truthfully.
I thought we liked Paddy early. I specifically remember being happy.
Oh, no. I had Paddy round one.
Yeah. I think we played the round, and you kind of have to with Paddy.
Now Paddy's talking about how he's going to KO Gaethje, and honestly, I'm not putting it past him, bro.
I have a feeling like when we get there, that sounds like something my motto would be like play the KO instead. Then because sub's going to be pretty heavily G.
He looks for it on the ground these days, bro. I mean, the Chandler fight, I fucking went for the sub, and I got cooked on it.
I mean, we do remember Gaethje face first on the canvas against Holloway, right? Like, it's not like the chin hasn't been cracked.
Yeah. This is a good comment. Under 2.5 here. Small minus money. Not a bad look. Bobby could win late round 2. It's not a bad look, bro.
The unfortunate thing is Bobby is kind of one of these unserious guys. I remember where he just messed around against Thiago Moises, and like I had him by decision there. Didn't do enough to get the decision. Like, he's had a few of those. You remember when he was up huge on Drew Dober? I think that was like another December card at the Apex.
He was literally boxing his face off, and then he got.
And then Dober got the. And that's my concern is like, does he get pinched against the cage moving back? Maybe just this fight in general to end KO might be a decent look, Matty. Yeah. Like, you get both guys because Gibson will have some submission equity.
What do you think that price is? It's probably around even money.
Yeah, let me see if I can find
it. Might be plus one something.
Then you get both guys.
Well, no, because the under 2.5 is minus.
There's legitimate sub danger there, though. Gibson's got three submissions, and he's got 2 submissions in his last 4 fights. So I'm guessing Gibson sub will be no longer than like 4.5 to 1 here.
Yeah, I think if Gibson wrestles heavy early though, green 2-3 so live.
Yeah, and Bobby is
just lean sort of under in every way possible in my view.
I feel like he's always been so underrated.
I like this in a violence parlay.
Maybe we'll file it away for the safe parlay perhaps, but maybe not quite long enough for a safe parlay. We'll have to talk about the safe parlay. I think this could be a fight that I might go safe parlay in terms of violence. Kennedy and Nzechukwu taking on Marcus Bucceha. Bucceha made his UFC debut, the accomplished Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, made his UFC debut in July. Did not go super well for him against Martin Buday. He was favored in that fight. And then Kennedy is coming off one of the victims of Walter Walker and one of his heel hooks. Like he was one of the guys that he's gotten in a row here, but he was still on a little bit of a roll at heavyweight before that. So I actually think this fight is very interesting matchmaking for both guys, kind of like do or die matchmaking. What do you think? As money's actually come in on Bucceha's side, this one's closing toward a pick'em. Kennedy's now just like minus 125 or so. So what do you think?
Moicano said Bucceha subs 100%, bro. But he also – so we put up a clip today. Moicano gave out the old man parlay last week. Did you see it by chance?
No, I didn't. Oh,
He gave out 5 money lines on 5 old men. It was – what was it? Moreno, Marab. You remember who the other legs were, bro?
Did he have Jan in that parlay?
Was it? Blahovic, Marab, Moreno. Who's the old – there's a couple older guys. I don't know, but long story short, he went 0 for 5. He lost every leg. Some were favorites, some were dogs, but he went 0 for 5 on it. So you could have reverse faded it. You could have faded him there. But I do like the Bucceha sub here. I think Martin Buday is just bigger heavyweight than Kennedy as far as frame and stature.
Yeah, and
I think Kennedy's a guy that he's just shown he tapped. Obviously, it was a Walter heel hook. What do you think the Bucceha heel hook is?
I mean, do you really think he'd roll for it? I just don't. Maybe. I mean, you kind of remember to some of the stuff Rodolfo Vieira would do early in his UFC transition. It was kind of like that. Maybe he would.
Yeah.
Wait, we could get this. Could be an exact sub prop, but like I honestly think that Bucceha can get a rear naked choke here. And like I honestly think the world of Kennedy.
I look at arm triangle, like he gets something full mount.
Yeah,
I can see that too. Let's see what his subs are. So he has a rear naked choke, bro. He has a heel hook in 2022. Yeah. Holy shit!
Can you flash that comment up there though? Because this is what I also believed before his debut about. I don't think he's just a BJJ guy. Like on his regional stuff, like he showed decent stand-up. He showed pretty good wrestling. Like he was a pretty high-level favorite over Buday for a reason. And then, like you were saying, I think Buday was just too big. It's, Buday's a guy that he probably goes into that octagon. What does he weigh? Probably close to 300 pounds. Like he is a mountain.
He's huge.
And Kennedy's just not quite this. Kennedy's kind of like a blown-up 205.
Yeah.
And like the thing about Kennedy, and I've always been fascinated by his tools, especially at 205. God, does he make so many mistakes? He just puts himself in really bad positions. I thought the Walter Walker fight was going to be a layup for him. Obviously Walter has really gotten that heel hook down and everything. But like, if you're really hanging your head on heavyweight wins over Lucas Brzeski and Chris Barnett, like what even does that mean? You know what I mean? Like those guys are they can't win fights at heavyweight. So I am so afraid that maybe it is a heel hook. Maybe it is a slip. And if this fight enters a grappling situation in any context, whether Bucceha's on bottom, on top position, has his back, I feel like Kennedy's going to do something stupid and get submitted. That's just my fear.
I'll probably be up here.
And like I will feel really badly about that if we get to the second round and Bucceha hasn't been able to get a takedown and he's kind of gasping for air again. But I cannot bet Kennedy, and then I feel so stupid because he gets submitted in the first round. I feel like if you like Bucceha here, just bet the sub. Because I don't know if he'll be able to crack an 80% takedown defense with Kennedy regularly into the longer rounds and get a decision win. I think it's early sub or bust kind of for Bucceha, but I would put those odds pretty high.
Fair enough. Let's move on. Okay,
All right. Matty's trying to move on. Matty's actually trying to watch our pace. I'm the one that's yapping. So why don't we move on? Let's talk about this featherweight fight here between Melkazel Costa and Morgan Charriere. This is going to be my fight of the night here. I cannot wait to watch this fight. I think this has banger written all over it. Both guys at featherweight that have really, really high-level skills. They can kind of do it all. Melk Costa going for 4-0 here in 2025. A last-minute fighter of the year candidacy. I mean, Marab's not going to win it, so maybe Costa can come out and do something. I kid, of course. But what Morgan Charriere coming back, this one's almost a pick 'em. It's kind of hovered around there. Over 2.5 rounds is minus 205. We have seen Costa in some dog fights this year. Do you think that this one is another one that kind of is a trajectory go the distance, or do you have a particular finishing method here? Like, What do you think about this matchup since we know both guys pretty well?
So I can get Melky decision at plus 160.
Okay.
Shire's 5-10 when it hits the cards. I mean, that's 10 decision losses. That's literally how he loses.
Yep.
And I think Melky's going to win round 1. So I think he's just got to win one of the second, or he's got to either win the second or third round. And I do like him by decision here at plus 160. I don't mind it. I think this fight goes a distance, so I don't mind taking either guy. The Charriere price obviously is better on the scorecards, but 10 decision losses is, and I get the favorite to win by decision against a guy that's lost 10 times by decisions at decent plus money. I'm definitely eyeing that up for the cycle potentially.
I love it. It's not even like that. It's just 5-10 record in decisions. 10 of his 11 pro losses by decision. So he's a guy that's pretty durable, right? Which helps. And we saw his ground game on display in the Chepe Mariscal fight. Really only a stand-up fight against Nate Landwehr. It felt like Nate was kind of turning the tide in that fight, and then Charriere came out like a madman in the third round and ended up getting the finish. I loved Nate the Train in that spot in his hometown, and Charriere quieted the crowd. But in just a stand-up fight, Matty, 15 minutes, just stand-up, would you take Melk Costa or Nathaniel Wood?
Nathaniel Wood.
Oh, I'd take Costa. That's interesting. But
I love Nathaniel Wood, though.
Yeah, my point was going to be is that I feel with the way that Nathaniel Wood soundly beat Charriere for 15 minutes, I respect Melky's stand-up now to a point where I would favor him pretty heavily in a 15-minute striking match. And I think he's got the submission danger of these two guys as well. So I like Costa here. I've got him minus 192, which is, my model doesn't love favorites, right? Like I'm not a...
Yeah, that's nice value.
I'm not a favorite guy, but I've got him minus 192, and then I've got decision plus 118. So showing good value on the decision prop as well.
I like it.
Dang, quick, efficient. Maybe perhaps the performance
in this room, bro. So I'm dying right now. I don't know why the AC's not working.
In Florida, that's not a good thing. But
it's usually super cold in our office, but this is the one room that's fucking hot for some reason.
Yeah, I'll try to get you through it. How about we go to this middleweight one here? The other Olesiejczuk, Cezary Olesiejczuk, coming off the Contender Series, had the impressive knockout there, taking on a guy in Cesar Almeida that way back in the day went 9 competitive rounds with Alex Pereira. He's had a pretty darn good UFC career as well. Last we saw him was that crazy knockout of Razak Al-Hassan, like one of the knockout of the year contenders last year. So Cesar versus Cesary here in this middleweight battle. Who you got with Olesiejczuk a minus 205 fave?
Bro, you have no idea how badly I want to get there on Cesar Almeida by KO, because I can get like plus 4 something on it. But he's been hurt. He's been hurt on the feet. He rallied against what's his name, Hassan, and he had a nasty left hook that fucking put his lights out. It was sick. But this guy Cesare's good, man. I like the fight to end by knockout minus 150 range. I think that's not a bad look.
Yeah. It's interesting. The over-under here, over 1.5, it's set at 1.5, which is like, I would have thought Almeida absolutely could be like a decision sort of target here potentially, but it's a little suspect that that's set at 1.5 and you get plus money on the under. I don't know. I feel like if this fight goes under that, it would be very good for Cesary, right? The younger guy, really powerful. Where do you think his skill ranks relative to Michal, his brother?
I think he has more upside, honestly. I think they fight the same way.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cesare's 25. How old is Macau?
He's definitely closer to 30, and that was going to be my question. Is like, I they do fight similarly, but I think at this point in time, I would say Mihal's a little bit more of a complete guy on the feet. I feel like his defensive fundamentals are a little bit better.
Yeah, the thing with Cesare is I don't think he's gonna blitz Almeida the way that Alisson did and be open for that counter shot. He keeps a very high guard.
Sure,
he comes forward. He's southpaw, right? I believe. Yeah, he's got a nasty left hook or left straight. I'm torn here. I like if I'm going to do a conservative cycle this week, there's actually a lot of good options to take both ways, like KO here, sub in some fights. But I love Cesar Almeida though, dude. I think he wins that rematch if he fought Kopylov. I was disappointed with that result, but I love this guy's kickboxing. He's fucking good.
Yeah, my general feeling is like, man, and maybe this is super amateurish and like way too oversimplified, but plus 175 in a fight where the guy's not going to try to take him down, that feels like really good value.
You think there's no way he goes for takedowns though?
When you saw his highlights on the Contender Series, there was some grappling stuff.
Even Kopylov went for takedowns against Almeida.
Yeah. I mean, Kopilov's shown a little bit of that. Like he tried to get Costa down. Kopylov did. It didn't go particularly well for him, but I don't think Almeida's takedown defense is horrible. Like he's probably improved in about a year that he's been off as well. Oh, we had a super chat that come through, but it was blank. You got to give us a parlay.
Yeah, give us it, or you can just donate to the channel. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate that too. But watch this fight. He's going to win by KO. We got a split chat here. Some people really like Cesare. Some people really like Almeida. I just feel like
the age is big, though. I think the age is the biggest X factor in this fight. 12-year difference. The chins, the wars that Almeida's been in. I want to get there on Almeida KO, but I'm really struggling with it. I think Cesare is going to get him out of there.
Yeah, and the other thing here is that I would think that they're trying to push Olesiejczuk.
They definitely are.
So, and this would be a huge win for him if he got it. But I kind of like over 1.5 minus 135 at that price. Maybe the value there is coming from that they think Olesiejczuk will knock him out quickly. Was he really hurt in that Abdul fight? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he got hurt. He got tagged.
Oh, okay. I don't have a model result on this guy. This is Olesiejczuk's UFC debut, so not model eligible quite yet.
Fair enough.
But I do have a model result here. We are already at the co-main event at featherweight between Kevin Vallejos taking on Giga Chikadze. Matty, we're a very pro Kevin Vallejos podcast. We loved him on the Contender Series. I mean, the dude was a savage to go 15 minutes with John Silva in a fight that felt super, super high level at the time. It definitely was. Now Vallejos stepping up, trying to get a ranked number against Chikadze, who's lost a couple fights in a row to other high-level guys. Vallejos certainly has gotten some love and attention. I think young guy versus old guy is going to do that. He's minus 300 to win here, Matty. What do you think about, I guess, the prop market in this one? I should ask as a clarity if you're picking Vallejos to win, and then kind of what method would you lean if a couple of short outcomes in the prop market?
Yeah, so my one concern with Vallejos here, he's almost too determined to make a run. Like it was Gene Silva, right? He
fought Gene Silva on the Contender Series, and
then he sees how much Gene Silva's getting pushed.
Yeah.
And he feels like he's just in the back of the line, which he is, right? He has some work to do.
Yeah.
But I do like this matchup for him because like Giga has those crazy kicks, but like Vallejos has just forward pressure and boxing. So I don't know how often Giga will be able to get those kicks off.
Yeah.
So I think Vallejos is going to march him down. But it's very hard to get Giga out of there, especially early. And I just hope that's my one concern with Kevin is if he's so eager to get a devastating KO early that I don't know if he'll get frustrated if he can't get him out early. And Danny Silva, I think you were spot on in that Silva versus Kevin fight, right? Like I think a lot of people were chasing that KO, but Danny Silva's so durable, bro.
Yes.
Never been put away by strikes. But Giga, he's 37. There's another huge age gap on this card, 13-year difference. I think I am Vallejos by decision, but I'm starting to get there on the KO, truthfully. But I do have my concerns for sure here. I mean, Arnold Allen didn't put away Giga. That was in 2024, July 2024. I think
Early this year he
Kevin
fought
can get
around.
the KO, but I think it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be easy. Plus 190. Jeez. What can I get?
I'm very uninspired by the prop market here. I will say,
I have too.
yeah, you know, my model, like, now when I rebuilt it, like I've tried to improve it and make it better. I've been a little bit more friendly to some of these heavy favorites that have been cashing. I've got Vallejos minus 216, so that's a pretty darn steep number for my standards. I got decision plus 126, KO plus 403, which Chikadze 11 UFC fights, he's never been finished, knockout or sub. And the thing that I think is paramount here is, does Vallejos wrestle? Because he got a couple takedowns against Silva. That's how we saw Onama get through Chikadze. That's how we saw, Arnold Allen wasn't overly successful with them, but like he did mix it in. Like I think I lean Vallejos decision here, just because it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get Giga out of there. He does a good job of maintaining range. He took an absolute beating from Cater back in the day, so I feel good about his chin as well. But at the same time, he's 37. So when is it going to potentially crack?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I'm leaning Vallejos decision here. I just don't know if he's going to get Giga out of there.
Yeah, I certainly like some of the earlier money line prices. You could get like closer to like minus. I got like minus 215 on bet.
I don't hate round 3, by the way. This could be one of those fights where it depends who the ref is. Truthfully,
sure,
because you could see a stand-in TKO maybe, where Giga's not really getting put out of there, but like it's maybe a slightly early stoppage. It's just lots of volume on the feet. That round 3 is definitely enticing as well.
Vallejos round 3 decision plus 105. So you get round 3 and the decision if you think it's like a mounting damage.
Vallejos round 3 KOs 11-1. You can probably get a better number too. You can probably get 15-1.
I can't particularly see the submission, especially since we haven't. Yeah, Vallejos doesn't have a submission attempt record in UFC. Not a long track of the regional scene. Vallejos is he on Twitter. He's no secret. He's looking for the KO. He's not really trying to mess around with the submission. Giga looks like Mega Mind. Good comment.
What's the best prop I ever hit? Let's see if Austin remembers it.
I'm gonna guess. How about, is it Paul Craig round 2 knockout against Andre Muniz?
Paul Craig round 2 KO Andre Muniz 39-1. I'll never forget that win. I'll never forget that. Only because it was like the dumbest bet ever according to the whole world, and it felt so good when it hit. It was very lucky though, truthfully, but sometimes going to be lucky.
My favorite hit of ours was the Ryan Spann sub, Court McGee sub, back-to-back fights at the pay-per-view. I want to say it was like UFC 318 or so.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? We put the 2 submissions together. We called it a day. That was my favorite hit of ours.
Yeah.
But that wasn't an individual prop. I'd have to think back. Most of my long shot props that have hits were like hedges against bigger bets that didn't make me feel very good. So
that's a nice one. The Hayjive hit.
Wow. Yeah, Hayjive did hit that one.
That's the best win of all time. Anyone that had that, only because there was 1 second left.
Yes. I mean, some others that were like Cody. If you had Cody Garbrandt round 2 KO against Asuncao, that he hit that at the buzzer, that would have been a sick one.
Yeah.
Like the buzzer beaters are about as good as it gets. But so we're both Vallejos longer. And do you think public consensus here is knockout or decision? Because they're almost the same. I
think knockout.
You think people are going to chase the KO just because Giga's older and?
Yeah, and Kevin's just fucking. His boxing's nasty, bro.
Yeah. I do want to reiterate, and I've said this before on the show, like before we separated. The overall decision rate is much higher in UFC since USADA left. So that's another thing, is that the knockout props haven't been quite as voluminous, and people blame the gloves for a little bit, but I'm telling you, it's not the gloves, it's the vitamins. And it's a legitimate trend that, I when I've been split between a decision and a KO, especially if the guy's durable like Giga, I've kind of tended to lean decision.
Yeah.
Over 2.5 minus 155 as well.
I'm with you, bro.
I want to make sure I'm not overlooking Giga here, but like my model's not super convinced. He doesn't win a lot of minutes. it feels like a long time since he's put together like a super impressive performance. Like you think back to the Edson Barboza main event. I just don't. If he wins, I think it'll be a really ugly, disappointing performance from Kevin, where he stays on the outside, far away from him.
Fair enough.
All righty, main event time, brothers. I love this main event. I think it's a good one, and I think
it's gonna be a good fight
from a betting perspective. Brandon Royval taking on Manel Kape. I've got a Royval comp for you, but both of these guys, super impressive wins in the last 12 months on the calendar. Royval, fight of the year contender against Tatsuro Taira. Back and forth. We saw what a monster Taira looked last week against Brandon Moreno, and Royval went into the lion's den and came out with the head on a platter there. And Manel Kape got the win over Asu Almabayev, was able to stuff all the takedowns, get him out of there. I think it was round 3, right? If it wasn't round 3, it was early, and that was the second straight KO win for Kape, who's really started to build on his potential in this flyweight division. A lot of people have always seen him as a contender for the belt. Now this is a chance to really make a statement, and like who knows? We think it's Van versus Taira next, but if Manel Kape does something crazy here, or Royval does something crazy, maybe it's something else. But what do you think about this fight here with Kape minus 300 as a favorite, and then the over 3.5 is minus 140? That's a big number against Randy Royval. But
yeah, so both guys actually have more losses than wins when fights hit the scorecard, which is pretty crazy. Royval's 4-6 when it goes the distance. Manel Kape is 3-5. I just think that for as durable as Brandon Royval is, I think I'm getting the more, I don't want to say more skilled guy, but like I think the cleaner striker who can win like find the more damaging shots over 5 rounds here. I like Manel Kape by decision, plus 265. I think that's a good number against Brandon Royval.
Yeah. You and I are a little bit split on this. I mean, I could not believe my model result here, but I kind of like it. Is that like, here's my comp for Brandon Royval. I think he's the striking equivalent of Anthony Hernandez. Unrelenting pressure, never gives the center to anybody. His fight with Josh Van, he landed over 76 significant strikes per round. So that would put him in record just behind Max Holloway against Calvin Kattar territory in a 5-round fight. I don't think that Manel Kape, with how much weight he cuts, with how big he is for the division, is capable of maintaining the same pace that Josh Van is. So I don't want to say I feel like Kape is KO or bust here, but I do feel like Kape is KO or bust here. And I actually love a specific angle to this fight. I've got Royval minus 110 win. I've got him about 52.4%. I've got Royval decision plus 246, Kape decision plus 368. So I'm with you that a little bit of a majority of the time it hits the cards, and then Kape knockout plus 430, and then sub plus 464 for Royval, which Royval's a very high submission attempt guy, but he hasn't really submitted a lot of high level guys. So I think that's my model. Looking at some
Kape went the distance with Pantoja, with freaking Muhammad Makayev. He didn't been subbed since he got subbed in 2020. It was Kyoji. He got subbed in 2017.
Yeah.
And then I don't even see any other sub losses. It says 2.
And Kyoji's a fucking beast.
Dude, he's a monster. I love that guy, except he cooked me for 100 G's because he didn't win the decision. He won by finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely split here. I think Kape can win a decision for sure here. I think you're going to see some moments where he's in danger, maybe on a front choke or ghillie or something, but he'd get out of it and land ground and pound. I definitely like Manel Kape by decision here. Any concerns about Royval's chin? Yeah, he took a lot of shots in that fight, but
I think he took about 205 significant strikes before he fell over. So, I'll give his chin the benefit of that. Those guys were trading in a phone booth, giving each other CTE.
That was a great fight. Yeah.
13 minutes straight. Maybe that is the difference, but I feel like when you are in the elite shape that a guy like Anthony Hernandez is, notice Fluffy can take shots. And Royval, to me, can take shots. It's because they're just in this elite shape where I remember when I was in Denver, with Factory X, I would go around and I'd ask some dudes and I'd be like, who's like the gym rat, the gym warrior. Everybody would say Brandon Royval. because this dude would be running up Red Rock stairs or doing some odd, crazy shit with cardio that you just literally couldn't even believe. And I believed it when he went into Mexico City and beat Moreno over the course of 5 rounds, which is crazy pace and volume. I honestly, the DFS apps, it's a gift here. They're giving you like 84.5 significant strikes. Because if you think the total is about right, or you're going to get him into round 4, I guarantee Royval's going to be over like 150, 160 significant strikes.
Yeah.
Just based on volume. And I agree with you. I don't even think it's subjective. When you look at the data, Matty, Kape's striking accuracy is 14 percentage points higher. His striking defense is 14 percentage points higher. He's a lot better than Royval is in terms of like making his strikes count. It's just a pace thing. And I think he breaks Kape. I'm going to play 4-5 decision with Royval here. I think it's possible he gets him out of there, bro.
Yeah.
Kape has just had some weight issues, and I just don't trust him. He had a good matchup against Almeida where all Lasu does is shoot, and it was a good matchup for him because he can defend takedowns. Royval doesn't really wrestle at all. Like if he's gonna go for subs, it's off of scrambles, it's off of hurting guys, like clubbing subs, like he did to Charriere France. Like, I think Royval's nasty, dude. I'm not betting against this guy.
Fair enough. We're on opposite sides.
Yeah.
I gotta pick one of these super chats, bro. So I'm gonna go through them right now, real quick.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we got Kevin round 3, Costa decision, Robertson sub. That's the first one.
Okay.
We got Royval decision. Hold on.
You don't like that one.
The first one I can't do because I don't like the Jillian sub. We got Royval decision, Yaroslav sub, Vallejo's KO.
You don't like the Royval decision, do you?
No, but that one I like over. No, yeah, I can't do it. We got a women's cycle, Croden KO, Bleda decision, Robertson sub. We have bigger bets, Costa sub, Royval decision, Vallejo's KO. We have Lemos decision, Vallejo's KO, Costa decision from Davy Bets. We got at Burko has Royval decision, Yaroslav sub, Vallejo's KO. And then we have bet with Sam, the sub and the Vallejo's KO. That's all of them.
There's also Robertson decision.
Which one?
There's also Robertson.
I'm missing
Costa
one.
Decision.
What is it?
Yeah. It's Robertson decision and Costa decision.
Robertson decision, Costa decision. I think I might take one of these and just tweak it slightly.
You gonna cut in 2 people?
No, I meant like take one person's parlay and just make one small adjustment here. That still aligns with them, but is maybe. Here's what we're doing, boys. At Davy Bets. Davy Bets gave out. He gave out Lemos decision, Kevin KO, Costa decision. That's what he gave out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tail this one, but I'm doing it this way. I'm going Lemos decision, Kevin money line, and Costa decision. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm going to take. Davy Bets, we're going to be splits on this. This is a $100 bet. Let me put it in real quick. So $50 is going to be your action. 50 is going to be mine. Let me put this in real quick. We got.
And if it cashes, you split it in half and he'll send it to you.
Amanda Lemos decision plus 375. Costa decision plus 160. And then I'm going to take Kevin on the money line just because I like the decision. He's on the KO, but I can see both. Where's that price? Minus 375. Plus 1464. 100 pays 1564. So I'll round up. I'll give you $800 if that hits. So Davy Bets gets take a picture of this as Alec. Davy Bets gets 800 if this hits. Lemos decision, Costa decision, Kevin money line. If that smacks, Davy Bets gets $800 Zelle or PayPal. That's
Dang.
the
Just like that.
a little too late. We just got a super chat.
Jillian decision.
That's not bad either. That's not bad, but you're a little too late, bro. Frog Prince CEO. I'll let you do a free one next show. It's in 6 weeks, so you're gonna have to remind me. Guys, try to get your super chats in earlier next week. We're gonna do this one: Lemos decision, Costa decision, Kevin Vallejo's money line.
I like it.
Davey and I can slap it, bro. Let's do your safe parlay.
Are we not building a long shot? You were so close to your show.
Both, yeah. I'm not doing the cycles on here though. I'm gonna put the cycles out tomorrow, but I will do a long shot. Well, why don't we do your safe parlay first since you hit last week?
Yeah, we do that. I do that. I do this, Matty. I do this. That's what the NFL players say right now, right? I do this. All right.
I know we got a violence leg in there for sure. Right? I know you had the under 2.5.
I was looking at Kennedy Bucceha to not go. It's minus 380.
Ooh, that's a good number. I see minus 425 here.
Yeah, the question is, do I want to get incredibly greedy and go doesn't start round 3 at minus 174?
I think so. I think you do.
I don't think that fight is getting out of the first 2 rounds, and I would play Bucceha early sub, I think is the angle there I would play. So I like that. And then let's see, is there another?
So fight this reach round 3, no. Minus 175.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent price, I think, all things considered.
You really just need one more leg.
Yeah. And I'm looking.
Dude, there's another violence one we liked, isn't there? What about, was it that? No, it wasn't. It was.
Well, I mean, like, I don't have props on Fry Pat yet.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, but there was another one I thought. Hold on, let me look. Which one was it?
God, is Bobby Green safe parlay worthy, bro? I don't know.
I think it was the Bobby Green fight.
Well,
yeah, I think it was that fight to go under 2.5. Remember?
No, I could see Bobby winning a decision. I wouldn't go.
Well, it's your parlay. So what do you like for the second?
I have a hard time seeing Aspen going out to a guy without submission danger. I was thinking just his money line, bro. Chat, do we have any exception to Aspen money line?
Plus 120, bro.
And I do think decision is a possibility there. Like I said, my initial prior on him was a guy that didn't have a lot of power. I know he put Guarasaccio out in that crazy fight, but I feel like the KO there is maybe a little bit dicey that it's playable. But the money line, you get both KO, decision, and then I guess a sub. But whatever.
I like it. You want to go plus 120 there?
Yeah.
I just program for you.
Does anybody have? I got a bad feeling about the Kennedy over. Let me just double check what it is.
You mean under?
Someone put it in chat. They don't like the under. Oh, see, if I just take it to get to round 3 and I get all of the third round, it's minus 125 just for that Kennedy fight to not go the distance. I wish I had under 2.5 rounds, but the round prop set at 1.5.
No, I can get under 2.5 for you if you want it.
Sure. Let me. You're right. What am I doing? I'm.
All right. So under 2.5 is minus 275.
Okay.
Aspen money line minus 250, minus 110. You want it?
That sounds.
I'll put it in for you, bro. How much you want on it?
Well, hold on. Let me see how much.
You get an extra 2.5 minutes, but you're paying 30 cents on the parlay for that. I kind of like the first one at plus 120, but it's your call. It is a safe play.
Wait, how many cents? It's 35 cents then for the extra 2.5 minutes?
30. It goes from minus 110 to plus 120. That's a big
difference. It is a big difference, but Bucceha is such a gas bag. Bucceha is such a gas bag. The biggest thing about what I could get it at right now, I could get round 3, but I can't get under 2.5 at this book.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about me selfish. What do we think, chat? Should I go for a little bit of balls in the safe parlay and go with doesn't start round 3? Maddie says yes. We did that last week where I went.
If the fight actually ends in the first 2.5 minutes of the third round, then you just chalk one up to the game, bro.
I'll never forgive you. I'll say, Maddie, you're out of the safe. I'm kidding. Let's do it. Let's go. Kennedy, I'm going to type it in chat here. This week's safe.
You want the fight to not start round 3?
Yes, I'm doing it. Kennedy Bucceha.
What you want on it, bro? I'm gonna put it in for you.
I got it myself, but
in
ways that I can actually do it.
All right, fair enough.
I remember I live in Texas. I'm not trying to break
Plus
any rules or
120.
have any cookies.
Plus 120.
Kenny. I'm still looking for employment, Matty. I'm trying to be a law-abiding citizen, you know. Never bet offshore. Aspen money line, and then it's plus 120. I got plus 125 here. So,
there you go.
Just pop. You want to pop that up for me?
Yeah. All right. There's a safe parlay for
Kennedy Bucceha doesn't start round 3, and then Steven Asplund on the money line at minus 235. I think it's a good price.
You're going back to back, bro. I really do.
We hope for about 60%. So do you want to build a long shot here, and then we'll send the people on their way?
There's a bear shit in the woods, bro.
True. All right. What are some long shot legs we both liked?
We're just going to do a 2-legger here, right?
Yes.
2 legs. All right. The first one. I think we go. I think we're aligned on no, I was gonna say Bucceha sub, but I don't know if you're all the way there or not.
Oh, I'm there.
All right, that's leg one. Bucceha sub.
What you? I got plus 240. What do you have?
Oh fuck, 220.
Oh, okay.
It's all right for the sake of this.
Yeah.
And then we just need one more leg. We need probably like at least 2 or 3 to 1.
Are you not going to go Bucceha sub in a cycle, bro?
Yeah, there's a 98% chance.
Okay.
All right, we need one more outcome. I think we look for a KO outcome here or another sub.
Like a crazy KO?
Or it could be, it could be anything. It could be a decision leg. What do you think? No, I was going to say Melissa Croden KO. Let's look on the main card here. I mean, we could go Costa decision.
I've got crazy value on sub there too, which is wild. I've got sub plus 510.
Let me see. I mean, you want Jillian decision? No, I can't do it.
Our numbers based on what's available are backwards, and that's kind of it varies market to market of what you can get. Yeah. Did you say you like Cesare instead of Cesar Almeida?
I initially liked Cesar Almeida KO, but I just can't get there. Why don't we? All right, let's look at this main card.
I kind of like decision at plus 490 for him, man. That's a big number.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm down to go Melky Costa decision as the second leg. We love that.
What you got? What you got on it?
Plus 160. That would be. Dude, that's not bad. Plus 732.
Okay.
It's not a long shot, though. We got to get the 10 to 1. Let's add one other leg. It could be a chalky leg, bro. It could be a money line even. Dude, I'm down to put Aspen in there. Plus 1065. Aspen money line. I know we're kind of overexposed a little bit, but who cares?
Yeah, it's 2 of the same fights, I feel like. Surely we have more common ground than that, right? Like we like.
Are you on Teresa or Jamie Lynn?
I like Teresa.
Teresa money line, 3 legs, 1269.
And then what are the other 2? We've got Bucceha sub.
Costa decision, Teresa money line, plus 1269.
Cost. What about Kevin decision instead? Just because I'm going to end up playing sub there. But I my primary play will be
plus
sub
1855 with Kevin decision. I'm in.
You're in? Okay. I feel better about that because I'm not going to play Kevin. I know I'm not going to play Kevin KO with the number it is right now. So I like that. Plus 1294 is what I've got.
Plus 1855.
Dang, you got a way better number than me, bro.
What do you have on the Melky decision leg?
Melky? I thought we were going Bucceha sub.
Here, check Telegram. Yeah, check Telegram. We're talking 3 legs, bro.
I know.
Check the Telegram. Is that what we need? Is that what we want?
Oh no! I thought we were doing Teresa money line instead of the Costa decision.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I took that out for Kevin decision.
No. I was saying, can we not play Costa decision because I'm gonna play sub.
Oh, I see. All right, yeah, I'm down for that.
Teresa, you still get 12-1 or so.
Plus 1137. I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay. So, that's all you get?
Yeah.
Look at this, dude.
What book is it?
I don't want to say it.
I know exactly what book it is. All right. Well, I'm going to just give you what I can get at. Plus 1137, long shot lay.
Plus 11. I thought you said plus 737. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, 11-1. I like it. Bleda money line, Bucceha sub, Lemos decision. I really like that. Yeah.
There it is. That's the long shot lay for the show.
Absolutely, I'm down. I'll
go
lock that in a minute.
Let's go 2 for 2 here. I like that a lot, actually.
Dude, the long shot last week was so close.
That's not right.
You banked Ferreira decision, and we missed Tyra decision because of the finish.
That's not right, boys. Ignore that. That was Kevin Moneyline I wrote by accident. Plus 1137. Kevin decision. Bucceha sub. Bleda ML. There it is. That's the official long shot, boys.
Yes, there it is. Plus 1137.
I like it. You can get 12 or 13-1 elsewhere. Let's run it, bro.
Man, that's the last parlay of 2025 for you and me. Too. Cheers to many more as we.
I'll have about 20 more though coming.
Yeah, that's not your last parlay, but that's our last show.
That's going to end the show with. How much money are you putting on Jake Paul by KO, bro?
Against is that fight still intact? I thought we
next weekend. Dude, it's happening. There's no way it's not happening.
Okay.
Jake Paul don't give a fuck, bro. That's gonna do crazy numbers on Netflix. If he gets KO'd, which he should, he don't care. I respect it. I respect it a lot.
I like Joshua decision in that. I think Joshua's gonna
stop it.
I think Joshua's gonna carry him.
Stop it. I do like a Joshua late angle though. Like this is a mega fight on Netflix. Like, is Joshua really going to come out and starch him in the first 2 rounds? I don't know. So I think that fight goes a little bit longer. He carries him, but then the ref calls it off, dude. Joshua's going to put it on him. How many rounds is that fight? Do you know? 8-round fight. How many minutes per round?
Oh, he's so carrying him.
8 3-minute rounds. I swear to God, bro, I'm going to play 4 through 8 for Joshua.
Can we put the safe parlay up there? We got some folks. I just put it back in chat. Matty.
Yeah, there she is. There's a safe.
They want the one that's gonna hit. They want that. They want that safe bank.
Safe parlay, long shot play. Safe parlay, long shot lay. Take a screenshot, boys. We'll put it out on Twitter or something as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be in my Discord as well. I put it in there last week.
It's an actual fight, boys. This is a real fight.
Yeah. And I think Joshua's going to carry him. But that'll be a good. Hey, should we do like a 10-15 minute show for just that fight next week?
Might have.
That's more like a TikTok live or an Instagram.
I want to see what those round props are real quick. I don't know if they're up or not. Probably not. The rounds probably aren't up yet.
I mean, dang, we've known about it for months.
Yeah, but it's just like money lines and totals, I'd imagine. I don't know if it's up on here. Yeah. Joshua
points a decision plus 500.
My goodness. Joshua KO is minus 450, bro. What could go wrong? I don't care.
It's fake.
Yeah. The draw is plus 1750. You got to be kidding me.
Because Jake, the way I see it, Jake Paul leaves that fight with a stock up if he goes the distance.
He leaves with positive stock if he goes more than 6 minutes. In my view.
Yeah. I mean, AJ's a little bit washed, but you're right. The size difference is like round 1 or 2 in the real world.
We shall see, bro.
Yeah, we shall see. It was a great show. Thank you guys all for joining us. It's been a great couple of shows back. We will be back in 2026 when UFC returns, and we'll be rocking and rolling by then. We'll have we got all sorts of fun stuff planned for the show, intros and all that fun stuff as we kind of get our bearings, but we appreciate you being with us for the last 2 weeks. He is Matt Tanner, the long shot legend. All his long shots, cycles, everything will be in his Telegram as well. You can follow him on X, Instagram. You can follow him, find his Telegram in a lot of different ways. Austin Swaim, my betting primer will be on homeoffight.com. Thank you guys for giving me such love on the betting primer. It was the most viewed UFC article I've ever had on homeoffight.com, and that was thanks to you guys and on social media and everything like that. I appreciate the love for that. I will have a primer out on Friday for picks and all the previews and stuff, homeoffight.com. as well as my picks will be in my Discord for free, the Homo Fight Discord as well. So thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to you. Until we see you again, hope your parlays cash. Hope everything is well. And we'll head into 2026 feeling prosperous and like long shot legends. What do you think?
Let's go.
All righty. See you guys.